Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wicked Art. It is Wicked here, and it is Tiny Tuesdays, which, is reserved for the younger audience, but practice in art is practice. So, even if you're an adult, feel free to follow along. Now, what we're going to draw today is actually a request from a viewer who wanted to draw a cute owl. So, that's what we're going to do today. All right? So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw this cute owl. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the shape of the owl. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and get his head. And usually to make things look cute, you want to kind of draw big for the head. At least when it comes to animals and like child characters, stuff like that. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to build up the body. But in order to do that, I need to kind of do some stuff with the face first. Okay, so I want to kind of come in here, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to draw the beak. And all I'm going to do is kind of make kind of like a bell shape here, but underneath we're going to build up the beak like this. Okay. So now that I have this little beak shape in there, I'm going to start just above it. We're going to come out and really define the head a little bit more. So we got to find a way to give it some features without really making it look too human. So we can do little things to the shapes of it in order to make it stand out. So we can give it like these little feathered eyebrows. And we can come out on the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stretch that down. Use these little shapes here. Kind of give it like an eyebrow. Okay. And then the next key thing for making something cute, and especially since owls already have big eyes anyway, that's the next thing we want to do. So we want to sketch in these big eyes for this owl. So we're just going to take that around, sketch ourselves a circle. Alright. And then the next thing I'm going to do is we want to kind of give it, owls have these kind of poofs to their cheeks almost. So we want to kind of come out from here. And it'll give it that extra kind of cuteness, like making it look like chubby cheeks almost. And then I can take it out from here like that. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to clean it up. Like that. Okay, I'm going to come to the other side and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to curve this out. I'm going to bring it up towards the eyes. And then kind of bounce out with it a little and connect up to the head this way. And then we can just clean it up. Clean up that inside. And then we can open this up. And we can kind of give a little bit of a chin here. Okay, and then we want it to kind of look like it's smiling. So I'm going to take the beak and curve it up. And we're going to curve it up right here. That way it'll look like it has more of a smile on its face. Okay. So now that I have that set up, we're going to go ahead and just shape out the body real quick. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to build up the inside part right here. Okay. Then I'm going to come and take the wings out. So what I want to do is I want to kind of bring it out, curve down, and just wrap under this wing shape. Come to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing and just kind of wrap out. Alright? And then what I want to do is I want to take this whole middle section and we are going to draw in some feet right there. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw me another set of feet. Okay, and we can have a slight little cutoff right down there for the bottom. Okay, now we can come in and make like a tree branch that he's sitting on. Just continue that out this way. That's going to run underneath his feet. And you're going to come out the other side. And it doesn't matter what shape you make the branch. It's completely up to you. Okay. I'm just going to run that right underneath. Little bends in it every now and then. And just have that spread out that way. If you want to, you can add in little shapes for lines just to give it a little bit of texture to the wood. Nothing serious. Okay, and now we can come back to our owl. So what I do want is we want the tail to come out underneath. Just like that. And now we can come in and start adding in the details, okay? So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to come in on this side. And again, we want these eyes to be big and cute, okay? So I'm going to come around and I'm lightly sketching, okay? So we're going to do some erasing in here. All right, I'm going to come in and we're going to put in a white circle. Right here, and then another one right here, okay? I'm going to come over to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of make this eye kind of out a little bit. Let me clean that up some so we can see what I'm doing. So again, essentially we're doing the same thing, we're just bringing it out and rounding it. Okay, I'm going to put our reflections, our little white circles, right in here. Okay, then we want to add little things, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start refining around the eye. So like I'm going to go ahead and darken up this line here. I'm going to thicken my line for the eye. And what that'll do is just give it more of an edge. Okay, now obviously you can color this eye whatever color you want. Okay, what I'm going to do is lightly shaded gray, but you can just save it till later. And you can just imagine that that would be whatever color. So if you want to give them blue eyes, purple eyes, that's completely up to you. No rules. It's your artwork. Make the owl pink if you want to. It's up to you. Okay, but I'm just going to fill that in just to give it some separation from the white of the eye. Okay, now I'm going to come to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to come around and refine our line work. Okay, then I'm going to thicken the actual iris part of the eye, where the color is. I'm just going to thicken that line up. Just like that. And then again, you can color it whatever color you want. I'm just shading mine in like a light gray, just so it stands out. Again, just save it to color later if you want to actually put some color in there. Okay, so once we're done filling that in, I'm going to add a few more little details in here. Okay, so we want this to kind of look a little feathery, so I'm going to just put these tiny little jagged edges right there on that side. Okay, I'm going to draw those two lines in there, and then I'm going to come up the same thing. Just put in these little jagged edges in here. Just to give it more of a feathery look. Okay, now we want to kind of make this look a little bit more cute. And the way that we can do that is by adding in almost like an eyelash shape. So again, you could color this in whatever, but I'm just going to do mine black. So I'm just thickening this top part of the owl. Okay, we're going to just take that down and thicken up this lower part of the eye here, like that. Okay, and then we're going to draw in some extra lines here. Give a little bit more depth to the eye, just to show that it's, caved in. Okay, and then we want to do the same thing with the other side. I want to come up here. I want to go around the eye and give it that kind of an eyelash shape. We're not drawing individual eyelashes here. Okay, so I'm just going to go around and fill that in. Again, I'm just using black. Okay. And then I'm going to continue to do what I did like on the other side. I'm going to go around this area and just thicken up that bottom side of the eye there. Okay, I'm going to add in a few extra lines here. Give it some depth, just like that. Okay. And we're going to draw in little nose holes here for the beak. And then I'm going to, just so that smile sticks out, I'm going to thicken up this edge on the bottom. Okay? And then we want to do little things like make it look layered. So we're going to put these little curves in here. And as I get out to this part, I'm going to space it. Okay? That way I can turn it more and not get too crazy with the way things go. And then we're going to turn it the other way and go up into the face that way. And then just go back through and erase out your old line. Okay. Now we need to repeat the same thing on the other side. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical, but you want to kind of keep it somewhat the same. Okay. So once you get out to a point, I'm going to add that space, just so we can start turning it more. And then once we get out to here, we're going to kind of put a turn. Again, we'll change that shape up and start taking it back to the head. Okay? Just make sure I bring back any lines that I accidentally erased that I want to make sure stay. Okay? Just like that. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to add kind of like the little horned owl feathers on here. So I'm just going to put these tiny little lines in there, like that. And then same thing with these eyebrows. I'm going to come up in here now, and we're just going to make these little shapes like this, just to give it some definition. Okay, I'm going to take out this bottom line. And I'm just going to take them sideways, like this, just to show a little bit of separation on there, okay? The same thing, I'm going to come on this side, we're going to kind of put these little creases down in there. And have that, and then I'm just going to erase bottom end, and then we want to bring our lines back, just like that, okay? So I have a nice defined face. I just need to add in my little horn feathers over here. Bring that down like that. And now we finish the head. Okay. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to build up the wings. Okay. So you want to kind of give them a little bit of shape. They curve out more on the ends right here. So we'll come out this way. Like that. And then we can just keep this way. So I can erase that out. And then what you can do is you can add in these little feathered shapes. Like that. But you want to kind of keep this side shorter. Okay. So something like that. Now in here is where I can now take the outside shape of my wings. And then I can get rid of that sketchiness inside of there. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to come out. And I'm going to build up my feathers. Let's take it back that way. and then just turn in that inside area. So again, I can add in my extra little feather shapes here. Again, I want to keep this side shorter. Okay, so short side, go up long, short side, and go up long. Alright, so now I have my little wings right there. We can come in here and add in these chest feathers like this. And I'm just swinging those down in between the ones above them. Okay, so now that we have that, I can put a little bit of definition on the toes here. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Let's go around, put some definition on the toes. Come down this way. We'll do the same thing. Right? Now, I'm just going to put these little claws for his toes on there. Okay. These tail feathers, we're good to go. I'm just refining them. And now you have yourself a little cute owl. Now you guys know me. If you watch my video for any period of time, I'm going to go around my image now, and I'm going to darken just the outside edges. And what that does, it just makes it pop off the page more, and that is just more of a style choice on my part. It is not something that you have to do. But all I do is just go around the edge and darken it and thicken it up. Okay? So I'm going to take this time to just say, you know, hey, if you like what you're seeing, feel free to leave a comment and let me know how you felt about today's lessons. If you have suggestions for Tiny Tuesdays, or Fun Draw Fridays, or the Monday art lessons, it's really going to be helpful if you just let me know. I'm a pretty positive person, so I'm not going to sit here and say no to something that you suggest. I'll just add it to the list and have that scheduled for those specific days that you want to see that. Even if it's for something simple like a time-lapse thing. Like if you're somebody like me, like I watch a lot of time-lapse videos. I think they're cool. So like for the time-lapse Thursday stuff, if you have ideas, even just for that, like, hey, I'd like to see you draw Wolverine, but in a time-lapse, you know. That's the kind of stuff that I'm going to need help getting guided with. But other than that, if you like what you see and you actually want to learn how to draw different things and you like these real-time tutorials, not sped-up videos that you have to try to figure out what's going on, you know, subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Share. Or just comment. If you're just here for just the owl, that's cool too. I'm glad you stopped by to at least check it out. And we are just going to continue thickening up the outside edge. and work my way around. Okay, so you can see how that kind of makes that pop off the page now that it's thicker on the outside, right? So I'm just going to, sorry, I had to move my lamp. It looks like it was drowning out the light a little bit. Don't really have like what you would call a professional YouTube setup. Just kind of using my drawing desk, so work with what I got, right? So anyway, almost done. We're just going to take this out to the outside of this branch over here. Work our way back in and go up to the top. And also, just keep in mind when you're drawing, there is no fast way to learn. You have to practice. Like if you just do it as a hobby, like, oh, cool, I want to learn how to draw Goku from Dragon Ball or cute little fox or whatever. That's cool. It's just a hobby. But like if you really want to get better, you gotta make sure you practice on your own and study. And you know, if you're somebody who's subscribed to my channel, you should be hanging out the whole time and just learning what you can learn. And then eventually, you're gonna be better than I am. So that's gonna do it for our Tiny Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had fun. Until next time, just keep on sketching. Have fun, and I'll see you in the next one. All right? Bye.